Premier League Sunday headlines. Welcome back to the Premier League update, where Sunday gave us drama, late goals, and dominant displays across England's biggest stadiums. Let's break down the action. Newcastle United 1-2 Arsenal. The biggest story of Sunday came from St. James Park. Newcastle United hosted Arsenal in a game filled with twists, emotions, and a last-minute sting. Newcastle began strongly. Their pressing game unsettled Arsenal. And in the 34th minute, they found the breakthrough. Nick Woltmade took advantage of a poor defensive clearance, kept his composure inside the box, and fired past the keeper. The home fans exploded with joy, believing Newcastle were on their way to a much-needed victory. But Arsenal, as they often do, refused to panic. They pushed the tempo, kept possession, and searched for openings. Time was running out, and Newcastle's defense looked set to hold firm. Then came the 84th minute. Former Newcastle midfielder Mikel Merino rose high, connected with a precise cross, and delivered a bullet header into the net. It was 1-1, and Arsenal were back in it. The drama did not end there. With the clock deep into stoppage time, Arsenal earned a late corner in the 96th minute. Gabriel leapt highest in the crowded penalty area and headed home the winner. Arsenal's bench erupted, the away supporters roared, and Newcastle were left stunned. What it means? Arsenal climbed to second place in the league with 13 points from their first 6 games. They look like genuine title contenders. Newcastle, meanwhile, remain in 15th with just 6 points. A worrying sign for Eddie Howe's men. Aston Villa 3-1 Fulham. Meanwhile, at Villa Park, Aston Villa delivered a statement performance against Fulham. From the very beginning, Villa were in control. Moussa Diaby opened the scoring after a clever move, showing his pace and sharp finishing. Not long after, Ollie Watkins doubled the lead with a clinical strike, putting Villa 2-0 up before halftime. Fulham simply had no answers to Villa's speed and intensity. The second half continued in the same direction. Douglas Luiz added a third goal, sealing the result for Unai Emery's side. Fulham managed a late consolation through Rodrigo Muniz, but it did little to change the story of the game. There was also controversy. Fulham manager Marco Silva was left frustrated by refereeing decisions, especially a penalty appeal that went against his side. VAR checked the incident, but the decision stood, adding more frustration for the visitors. What it means? Aston Villa continue to look strong at home, staying in the fight for the top 4 places. Their consistency under Emery is becoming a key talking point. Fulham, however, slide further down the table and will need a quick turnaround to avoid slipping into trouble.